Myles Garrett. Quick thoughts on Myles Garrett. So he signs this big deal, 4 years, $160 million, $123.5 million guaranteed in that contract. You look at the breakdown. I mean, it's a no trade clause. You would think they would learn after the Deshaun Watson deal, but he gets an incredible deal. And we know how good Myles Garrett is. I mean, he's really top of the food chain at his position. 2024, 14 sacks, 47 total tackles, 22 tackles for loss, 28 QB hits. You look at the 44 pressures. I mean, this is someone who's had double-digit sacks in every season while he's been with the Browns, and 102.5 for his career. He's going to be in Canton wearing a gold jacket one day. But we did a show a couple months ago, and we read his statements during Super Bowl week, and he was saying, I want to win, and I want to be a Super Bowl champion. It was all about winning. And now it's funny. I mean, he goes from, I want to win, I don't believe I can do it in Cleveland, it's not about the money, to, okay, here's $123 million guaranteed. And then he's like, Cleveland rocks, Cleveland. Like, then he's a Brown. He loves being a Brown. So let this be a lesson to anyone out there that when they tell you it's about winning, it's not always about winning. It's about the money. It 99% of the time, not always. But for someone like himself, he didn't really have that many alternatives as far as, I mean, what would teams give up? And we were kind of talking about those packages earlier. But, I mean, you're going to be stuck in Cleveland. I'm not mad at him. Get your money. I mean, they basically look like, okay, he basically said, I want to get separated. I want a divorce. Then they kind of go through, you know, they renew the vows, right? They go through the marriage counseling that we talked about for Matthew Stafford, right? Yep. And look, money solves a lot of problems, man. Like, if you have money, you got a problem, throw it at that problem, and you're probably going to be okay. And I think that's what Cleveland did with Myles Garrett.
Oh, for sure. I could only imagine that phone call where Myles is on the phone with his agent, and he's probably talking to her, and he goes, I don't want to be in Cleveland. I'm ready to get out of here. I said I don't want to be there. And then she goes, Myles, they're offering you $123 million fully guaranteed without a trade clause. He probably goes, well, Cleveland's kind of nice.
Yeah,
you know? Cleveland's all right.
We got the Cavs.
We got the Cavs.
Right, we got that river down there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it ain't so bad.
It's not too bad. The Cavs are about to maybe be in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, the winters are harsh, but we'll be okay in Ohio. So he definitely changed his mind once he heard the news. But I also cannot blame him, Doug, because it's the NFL, and that guaranteed money is really, you're not playing for that big number. You're playing for the guaranteed number with the G on the back of it. How much guaranteed money you're giving me? And $120 million guaranteed, 123 is insane. And honestly, all I can say to this, D-Mac, is I feel bad. Well, actually, I don't feel bad for them. The Cincinnati Bengals are not going to have a Brinks truck big enough to pay Jamar Chase the landslide of money that they're going to have to pay him, because Myles Garrett just reset the market for non-quarterbacks.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic point. I mean, he is the highest paid non-quarterback in the league by a country mile.
Oh, my God.
And the funny thing about this, too, is it's not like you could, if you're Myles Garrett, I mean, I'm not saying he's a fraud. People out there calling him a fraud, right? I mean, get your money. You know my thing. Best player on the worst team with the money versus the championship. Not even close. He could buy, how much Lombardi costs? He could buy one.
I could buy 3.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He could go, like, how many players sell their Super Bowl rings when they're broke? Buy a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Like Vince Young probably gets Rose Bowl ring. Like there's guys you can get rings for. Like, give me the money. But it's the funny thing about this, though, is the Browns have done nothing, right? They've done nothing to add to a roster that went 3-14, tied for the second worst record in the NFL. You have Deshaun Watson's just absolute disaster of a contract, but he gets a raise, and we'll see. And you know what the interesting thing too with the Browns is that they don't have a quarterback. I mean, there's talks that they're probably going to have Kirk Cousins as their QB1. That's the rumors. They're going the Kirk Cousins route, and yeah, I mean, they ended up trading.
Maybe this is Shedeur Sanders.
Oh my goodness! Or you need a 6 degrees of Shedeur Sanders, man. Your brain always comes back to Shedeur Sanders.
D-Mac, what they gonna do?
No, I mean, look, Kirk Cousins is better than DTR. It's better than Kenny Pickett.
Kirk Cousins has no velocity on the ball anymore. Do you see him throw in Atlanta? He literally has no plant and throw. Like he was throwing interceptions.
No, he's bad. He's not good. He's
physically
not good for sure. But I mean, like DTR is like. He's like a UFL quarterback, you know, and I love DTR. He's like family to me. He's about to start year 10 for the Bruins coming up. But